I say, give me.
Hey beauties, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Alma, and today I'm doing the long awaited, is it really long awaited? I know some of y'all been waiting for a long time, and then some of y'all been waiting for a week, but whatever. We're gonna do the Q&A video that I told y'all I was going to do. I'm gonna try to do this video as quick as possible because your girl got some contracts homework she needs to be doing, but priorities, contracts, or putting y'all on. Definitely putting y'all on. Don't tell my parents, don't tell my contracts professor. Literally keep this between me and you. Anyway, for those of you guys who don't know, my name is Alma. I'm 22 years old. Why does my age even matter? I don't know, but these FAQs are always in the description box down below. But I'm 22. I graduated from UMD in May 2020. I got a Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and Criminal Justice, a Bachelor of Science in Family Science, and my minor was in Law and Society. So yeah, let's just get started with this Q&A questions, because like I said, we can't be here all day. I would love to spend all day with y'all, and I know the energy's reciprocated, but we cannot spend all day with each other because I got work to do. I know y'all got stuff to do, so let's just get into it. But actually, no, but before we do, look at my hoodie. Like, this is one of my favorite Maryland hoodies. But anyway, let's get into the questions. So I grouped the questions. The first of the questions, y'all wanted to know a little bit about me, so that's what we're going to do. So the first question is basically asking about my GPA and my SAT score. So I'll start off with SAT scores. My SAT score does not matter for two reasons. One, the SAT I took was out of 2,400, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe the new SAT is out of 1,600. Let me double check with Siri real quick. Hey Siri, how many points is the SAT out of?
Here's an answer from wikipedia.org. SAT scores range from 400 to 1,600, with each of the two sections, evidence.
Yeah, so the SAT I took, I'm pretty sure was out of 2,400. Yeah, 2,400. Yeah, 2,400. Whatever my score was, it doesn't matter because it's not administered on the same scale. As for my GPA, I actually do not remember. I think my weighted GPA, if my weighted GPA wasn't above a 4.0, it was very close to a 4.0. And I said weighted. So that's with all my, you know, honors and AP and other classes. My regular GPA was, it was a high 3 point something. Like, you know, your girl gets A's and B's. The next question is, I can't decide between PSU and UMD. Oh, this is a statement. This is not a question. Oh my gosh. The next question is why you chose UMD and if and how the resources helped you with internships. Basically, during the 2015-2016 school year, my senior year, I was really like, when it came down to the schools I was deciding on, it was between Penn State, George Mason, and Maryland. Yo, when I tell you senior year, I thought I was going to Penn State. Like, I used to aid, they got me a Penn State pillow, Penn State hoodie. Like, they decked me out in that PSU gear, but I don't go there. But it's okay though. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown how I even ended up at Maryland. So like I said, it was between Penn State, Maryland, and Mason. Maryland for the obvious reason we try to save some coin around here. Penn State because I just liked the campus. Like, it was real homey. Like, yeah, it was a vibe. I was like, okay, I liked it here. The first time I went to Penn State though, I hated it. I was like, get me the heck out of here. The second time I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. I'm digging a little bit more. So yeah, I went to go to Penn State, and so me and my dad were talking about it, and basically it came down to a money thing. Whoever gave me the most money, that's where I was going to go. So at the time he said that, I think Penn State had given me more money, so I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to Penn State. Y'all, why UMD give me more money? I said, huh? Y'all, I tell you, I started praying. The prayers I started doing, eventually Penn State gave me more money. It was like this little game. Like, I was like, do y'all know you're playing a game with each other? Like, y'all, at the end, Maryland had Penn State beat. And that is how I ended up at the University of Maryland College Park. The next part of that question was basically how UMD's resources helped me secure internships. So I believe I did 5 internships. One was on campus. That one I saw a flyer in one of the like criminal justice buildings, so I applied for that. Another internship I did, it was like a club who had just put a flyer up, and I saw it, but I kind of like overlooked it because the flyer was really not clear. And so I kind of like brushed past it. My friend texted me. She was like, hey, yo, like, come to this interest meeting, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to come. So I went, and it was really beneficial. I also did intern for a day, and that was through the University Career Center. They hold little workshop. After you do the workshop, you rank the different internships you want, and then they pair you. That was pretty cool. The attorney I worked with, I think he was based in Baltimore, but y'all, he had me in Montgomery County that day. He had me in Rockville, Maryland. Like, I don't remember the last time I was there, but as soon as I stepped to the courthouse, my Uber driver parked right across from the Ghana flag. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, we're gonna have a great day today, because anytime I see a Ghana flag, it's nothing but vibes. So I was like, all right, bet. And it was truly a great day. My fourth internship, I just did that on my own. It's a place I knew I wanted to intern. So girl, I got to the application real quick. Like, I'm talking the beginning of the school year, I was doing summer internship applications, and that's because I knew I wanted to intern there. So that one, I did that on my own. And the fifth one, me and Fallon were actually volunteering for Maryland Day for a fraternity, and we were sitting out the Ellicott Diner, and I actually put a video of what happened, because y'all, our tent blew away. Our tent blew away. It was so windy that day. But we were talking to this lady, and she was just telling us how her daughter went to University of Maryland, and how her daughter was a criminal justice major. And you know, we were just chatting up. Like, that was it. Her daughter eventually comes, and then we all chatted up, and she was like, hey, I'm the supervisor of so-and-so. Like, would you want to come intern with me? I said, girl, that's just right up my alley. So I interned there. That was one of my favorite internships, and that was one of my longest internships. So that's all to say that yes, the resources did help me, because I did go to Career Center for the intern for a day. There was flyers for the other two internships. One I did on my own, and the other one, girl, I was just at the right place in the right time. That's all it was. That's all it was. Oh, and the grace of God. Oh wow, this says, how's the Career Center, and do they do a good job with setting you up after college? I just talked about my experience with the Career Center. So the only direct internship I did with them was the intern for a day one. As far as them setting you up for college, girl, I'm still in school. I'm in law school now, so I'm not really sure how like the work field stuff is, and I don't know too much about that. I should have got a job so I could make some money, but you know, I said I went to JD instead. Like, why is someone tell me law school is this hard? But you know, that's a whole different conversation. So if you're talking about UMD to the working field, I can't answer that because I'm still in school, but I'm pretty sure that they have services to assist you. I didn't take too much advantage of the Career Center. I definitely could have done more, but it is what it is. On a scale to 1 to 10, how happy are you with your decision to attend UMD? I say I am a solid, how am I going to say solid and start guessing? 7.5. I had a great time, met some really cool people. I took some really interesting classes, had some great life experiences, learned a lot of good things. However, there's some bad things too. There's just some negative experiences associated with UMD that I promise you I could have gone without. And if anything, those really impacted me in a negative manner. So that's what's bringing the score down. Someone asked, did I join any extracurricular activities or clubs? I did join ASA. Like, I was active, and in my freshman year, sophomore year, that's when I started to trickle off. So yeah, that's the club I joined. The extra stuff I did on campus were like unique things. So I was a student defender, I taught a class, I was a supervisor. Those are not clubs, but those are activities. Those are some things I did on campus. So they're not like the traditional things. So I wasn't like a president of a club or anything, but y'all, I still have that resume booster. So there are different ways to get involved in campus, and there are so many clubs. There's literally a club for literally anything. And if a club you want is not present on campus, you can make one up. Academics, can you work and go to school at the same time? Yeah, at one point in time I was taking 20 credits. I was working on campus. I was teaching a class, and I had an internship. Y'all, I was getting it done. Just have to make sure your time management is good, and time management is something I've been working on since I was little. So I got it in the bag at this point. So that's how I was able to do all of that. Just make sure you have your priorities straight. Another question I got was, how easy is it to connect with professors? Connecting with professors is a matter of being active in class, like raising your hand, participating so they can recognize who you are, going to office hours. I personally did not go to office hours frequently. I'm not one to talk much in class, so I really did not connect much with my professors. I did connect with a few, but like if we look at all the professors I had at Maryland, it was like a really tiny amount of professors I actually connected with. But it was enough to get my letters of recommendations done for law school. And yes, that's important. If you plan on going to grad school, at least have 1 or 2 professors in your back pocket I say at least 2. Another question I got was, what services have I used to buy textbooks? Okay, so I used Amazon. I used oh, you said buy. Online PDFs. I'll always plug that in, but you know, that's free. What else have I used? Ooh, book holders. There's a book holders by campus. And then I would also ask people who I know who've taken the class. I will ask them if we really need this textbook, because for some classes you just really don't. So yeah, and you always don't have to buy textbooks. You can always rent them out. The next question is, what is it like with a huge size with regards to class and opportunities? So class sizes, it depends on what type of person you are. I really don't mind big classes. I actually would rather have more people in there. Okay, take the attention off of me. Like I said, I really don't talk much in class, so the more people in there, the better it is for me. But with big lecture classes, most of the time they do have discussions, which are like smaller classes. Even though I didn't talk much in class, I would like to sit in the front of the class. Some classes I absolutely could not sit in front of the class because I was literally running from the other side of campus, so I just had to find a seat wherever I could find a seat. For most of my classes, especially at the beginning of my college experience, I would try to sit in the front because I just felt like when I sat in the front, I'm not going to be disrespectful and take out my phone and start texting, you know what I'm saying? So that helped me to you know, be more attentive in class. So that's a little trick. Someone asked me what freshman connection is, and freshman connection, I'm going to try to explain the best way possible, the way I understand it, and I really don't mean to offend anybody. So basically, freshman connections is you getting accepted to Maryland for the spring semester. So you didn't technically get admissions for the fall semester. However, you can still take classes in the fall, but your classes will be later at night, and it wouldn't be with like the regular UMD freshman class. It would be with other freshman connection students. So that is my understanding of freshman connection. Don't let it completely turn you off from the school, because it's only something you really have to deal with your freshman year. And then after that, nobody knows if you're in freshman connection. It's not like you have like the SCAR letter. It's not like there's a big A on you, or I guess an F, but there's not like a big, you know, symbol on you that says you're a freshman connection. So I think I answered all the questions I got about academics. Now I'm going to move on into housing. Now the first question I got is, do you have to live on campus your freshman year? Prior to me actually going to Maryland, so like, you know, the summer of, I thought all freshmen had to live on campus, but actually no, you don't. You can commute your freshman year. Next question was, if you're close to campus, is living on campus worth it? Honestly, I think you have to look at your pockets. You have to assess your financial situation. I told you I made some mistakes in regards to housing, so I am an advocate for living on campus. It's just an experience that you will not get outside of, you know, graduating. And if you can do it, I recommend you do it. If you can't do it, it's okay. Make some friends in the dorms, hang out with them in their room. You know, you'll get the experience, kinda. The next question is, I was wondering if you know exactly what the Caroline communities are. Someone's making noise upstairs. 1 second. So I wasn't in the Caroline communities, but I do have a friend who was in it, and she wrote a little blurb about it once upon a time, because I sent it to someone in my DMs. So let me find that real quick. So Caroline is a living and learning community for first year students. Invited students live in the same building and take a 3-credit class based on the theme they're in. They also take a 1-credit studio course, which is UNIV 100, which other first year students take. They do. The program was built on teamwork and the beauty of living with people from your class to help you prosper and adapt to your new environment. So that's what my friend said about the Caroline community. The girl went on to ask if her roommate was a Caroline student. My friend said yes. So you're matched with Caroline members, especially those in the same theme. However, you can request a non-member as your roommate. If the Department of Resident Life has space on the floor, they will honor that request. However, the request isn't granted. So that is what I have to say about Caroline communities. My friend was in it her freshman year, and she would also, like, anytime I would work the open houses and the minute students day, she was there to represent Caroline. So I think this is a good, she's a good rep. Okay, another question I got, how would I rate freshman housing, and can I explain some of the process surrounding freshman housing at UMD? How would I rate my freshman housing? If we're being completely honest and transparent, which I am 1000% of the time, I hated the community bathrooms. I said that already. Even though I hated the bathrooms and I hated, yeah, even though I hated, that was really my big issue. I hated the bathrooms. Honestly, living in Easton Hall, E2 to be exact, Easton Hall, floor 2, that was so lit. Like, that was so lit. And most of the friends I did make my freshman year is primarily because we lived in Easton together. Even if they were on the same floor as me, Kim, Kim and I met in the bathroom. So there are some benefits to communal bathrooms. I was about to take a shower and she was doing her nightly regimen. So that's a benefit to community bathrooms. Even though I go in on UMD housing, like my freshman year was lit primarily because I was in East, like bruh, like I had fun in Easton. I had fun in Easton, okay? I have to admit it. I had fun. If I had to rate my freshman housing experience, again, I'd probably give it the same rating I gave the school, only because like really the community bathrooms are a big turnoff for me. That's a personal preference. Like that was a big turnoff for me because some of the girls I lived on the floor were just not clean. Like they were not clean at all. I'm talking hair in the drain, I'm talking about left panties. Ugh, like yeah, let's not get into that. So I'm gonna say a 7 or 8. Let's say 8. Let's say 8. The next set of questions, I didn't really know how to classify this, but so I wrote like people / climate. I don't know, child. The questions: I've gone to predominantly minority schools most of my life. What is the best way to acclimate to a PWI? I can only speak from my experience. I was planning on doing a whole video about this. I was gonna have some of my friends who grew up in predominantly minority areas come in and talk to y'all. I grew up in a predominantly white area, so you know, going to UMD for me was really nothing. It's like something I've been doing for like years and years and years and years. I can understand how going to predominantly minority schools and then coming to UMD, child. Even though, hold up, because even though I did go to, you know, predominantly white schools, still going to UMD was a little bit of a something, okay? I got the people, I'm gonna have to talk about that in a diversity video. The next question I got is, do you think that people at UMD are accepting towards other countries or from the LGBT community? So what I've seen, people are accepting of the LGBT community, and for, you know, international students, there are different clubs and organizations you can join for either. So from what I've seen, I think people are accepting. Next question is, are majority of the students out of touch with regards to diversity? It says, I'm white but I have ADHD, and they grew up in racially diverse and accepting areas. Are the majority of students accepting in regards to diversity? That's something I'll be touching on in the diversity video. But in regards to, you know, having ADHD, UMD does have DSS, and basically they help you get accommodations for whatever you need. So whether it be extra testing time or like you testing alone, whatever you need, make sure you get in contact with DSS. These questions are also pertaining to academics, but I've already answered them. I feel like they deserve a response on camera. So one question is this college academically rigorous? Yes, it is. Maryland is tough, so get prepared for that. The next question I got was, what's the best amount of credits I should enroll for each year? Here's T. In order to graduate, you need 120 credits. So, you know, they say that in order for you to be a full-time student, you only need to take 12 credits each semester. You can take 12 credits, but if you're not taking summer classes or you didn't come in with credits, you're already knocking yourself off track to graduate on time if that's something you want to do. And by on time, I mean in 4 years. So just be worried about that. If you take less than 15 credits, make sure you are making it up, whether you take summer classes, you're coming in with credits, or you're going to make it up the following semester. All I'm saying is that in order to graduate, again, on time, that is 4 years, and that is whether you want to do that or not. If you want to graduate in 4 years, then you need to be taking 15 credits each semester, and if you don't, you got to make it up. And those are all the questions I'm going to be answering today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
I met a girl from the UK. She a dime, she a cutie. I tell her come if she wanna see me. She love the green and she love when it rains.